Howdy guys, how are you guys doing? Today we have a brand new video. What happens if Yellowstone blows up? You know, the Yellowstone super volcano that's inside the United States. I've heard about that. I think there's a whole movie that has to do with that. I think it's like the 2012 movie. That's a good movie, nothing spectacular. But yeah, this is from real life lore. And this video, I don't know, like the algorithm is catching something because I've gone this video recommended like a million times this week. So hey, if I'm gonna watch it, might as well watch it on camera.
To be one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
It
From the
is.
Grand Canyon
It
to
is,
the Rocky
dude.
Mountains to the
Beautiful.
beaches on 2 of the world's oceans and beyond. The list just goes on and on. There's so many beautiful parts of the United States that the country established its own National Park Service back in 1960.
It's hard to really realize how much things America has when it comes to like deserts, forests, beaches, mountains. It's insane what they have, and it's just a big, beautiful country.
In an effort to help maintain and protect them. And in total,
Hell yeah.
the service is now in charge of 63 of these protected areas,
63.
and when combined together, they cover an area of 85 million square kilometers, which is roughly the same size as the entire country of Germany. One of the most famous of these U.S. national parks is Yellowstone. It's located in the northwestern corner of the state of Wyoming, with some overlap in Montana and Idaho, and it covers roughly 9,000 square kilometers of land.
Man,
Yellowstone is well known for its abundance
insane.
of wildlife and its many geothermal features.
Yo, can you actually like live in Yellowstone, like inside the not the national park, but can you live in Yellowstone? I guess that's my question. That's what I'm asking. Or it's just like an area where you can only visit. No, you're not allowed to live.
Particularly Old Faithful, a geyser that regularly blasts water 50 full
Yeah,
meters
there's a lot
into
of
the
those.
air approximately every 90 minutes. Over 4 million people visit the park to take in all of these sights every year, but Yellowstone is harboring a dangerous secret. It's located just atop a slowly ticking time bomb.
It's like
the
a
largest
pimple.
supervolcano, not only on the North American continent, but also anywhere on the planet right now. And it has a bit of a troubled past. You see, the Yellowstone caldera that we know today was actually formed by several titanic volcanic eruptions that took place a long, long time ago. One of them took place 2.1 million years ago, another that took place 1.3 million years ago, and the most recent taking place approximately 664,000 years ago.
What the hell, bro?
Long before Homo sapiens had ever arisen over in Africa. The last of those, that surrounds the Yellowstone Lake, ended up ejecting so much material during the blast that it left a 55 by 80 kilometer depression in the ground that we now know today as the current Yellowstone caldera.
A depression.
And each of these 3
Holy shit, dude, it's insane. Like sometimes it's hard to comprehend the insanity of some of these things.
Colossal events is what is known geologically as a super eruption, meaning that on the volcano.
Hey, listen, okay? Listen. Sometimes our boy right here, real life lore, overreacts to certain facts, but I think this time he's correct. Like, this is truly fucking Titanic.
Explosivity index. They would all be listed as a magnitude 8 or higher, and at a minimum, at least 1,000 cubic kilometers of material was ejected during the most recent blast, which is, well, insane to comprehend, because that would basically be enough volcanic
not my
ash
beautiful state of Texas, 1.5 meters deep. So, okay, I'm like 5'8", I'm 1.73 meters. That's 5'8" in centimeters. So that's basically like up to here of just fucking pure magma, dude. And that's the state of Texas. Texas has to be like, what, the second largest state or the third?
And other material to bury the entire state of Texas 1.5 meters deep. If we look at the geological history of Earth, we know that on average, the planet suffers from one of these supervolcanic blasts roughly once every 100,000 years. The most recent such occurrence was the New Zealand Lake Taupo volcano, which blew up approximately 26,500 years ago.
So we're good.
But by looking at the history of the Yellowstone eruption specifically, a disturbing pattern begins to look like it's emerging. The second most recent explosion took place about 800,000 years after the third most recent, while the most recent one happened about 636,000 years after that one.
Oh shit.
And as mentioned previously, this most recent event happened 664,000 years ago.
So it could happen
which is
any day now.
28,000 years longer than the time between these two most recent explosions. This is...
I mean, come on. I know there's a lot of people. First of all, if something like this were to happen, all right, like some other shit would happen as well. By the way, is it, have y'all seen the 2012 movie? This is like literally a scene that they have, but on that scene, everything explodes. Anyway, like something would happen, right? There would be some activity on the volcano, maybe earthquakes, like something would happen that would tell us that this shit is about to explode. I hope, maybe, I don't know, but it just makes sense, right? So yeah, I guess we'll know when it happens.
One of the biggest reasons why Yellowstone in particular...
There has to also be people studying this shit every day. Like, if this is so dangerous, I fucking guarantee you that there's people looking at this volcano every day.
And receives so much attention in the global press. However, experts and scientists have repeatedly assured the public that an eruption at Yellowstone anytime in the near future is exceedingly unlikely, and the volcano's current status is dormant.
Man, that's good. That's good to hear.
Based on over 30 years worth of
research,
is
good to hear.
The evidence gathered suggests that while, yeah, it's theoretically possible, a mega eruption isn't likely to happen any time within the next 10,000 years. Keep in mind that on the geologic timeline, it took roughly 800,000 years between event number 3 and event 2, which is 136,000 years longer than we've gone now since event 1. But that's not really
fun. We get it.
If Yellowstone defied all of the odds and blew up today anyway, how bad would it actually be? Let's do some speculation. The whole Yellowstone volcanic system itself is huge. Like,
wouldn't it kill like all the planet quite literally because of the ash cloud that would put us in like a fucking decade-long winter? I don't know.
It's way bigger than you probably think it is. For example, the magma chamber that lies underneath the national park today is estimated to be a single connected chamber that is 60 kilometers long, 29 kilometers wide, and 8 kilometers deep.
What the
and holds
fuck,
an
dude?
Absolutely absurd.
Isn't like the country of Monaco like either 2 or 4 kilometers? Imagine like twice the size of Monaco, the independent nation of Monaco, just like the height of this fucking thing.
Amount of molten lava. This chamber is fed by a gigantic plume of molten rock.
Damn, it's just like a massive pimple. It works like a pimple, but instead of fucking nasty shit inside your body, this is just fucking deadly ass lava.
Wells up from hundreds of miles beneath the Earth's surface. And fascinatingly, as this magma rises up into the chamber and cools, the ground above will periodically rise and fall. And because of this, the elevation of ground within the Yellowstone Park will fluctuate up or down by a few inches a year. Now, before any massive eruption would take place, it would very likely be preceded by a huge amount of seismic activity. Basically a warning sign that something really bad was about to happen.
I remember in that movie I was talking about, some massive earthquakes do happen, especially in California, you know, with the San Andreas fault.
Many seismologists estimate that there could be substantial earthquakes preceding any blast at Yellowstone that would last for weeks or even months beforehand as rock below gets broken up by magma as it surges further and further up towards the surface. Here, pressure would continue building and building and building and with increasing intensity until, with nowhere left to go, the magma would explode through the ground in a cataclysmic eruption, with debris getting flung as high as 24 kilometers up into the stratosphere. Shortly afterwards, the lava flows themselves would engulf the surrounding area, and anywhere inside a range of 65 kilometers from the epicenter would be in danger of becoming literally buried in lava, which is basically the entire territory of the national park itself. Beyond this immediate danger of burning, the blast would eject 1,000 cubic kilometers of material up into the sky, creating a type of umbrella cloud expanding evenly in all directions and darkening the skies over most of the North American continent.
No fucking way, dude. I was like, I don't know, maybe Mexico stay safe for this one, but nope. We're gonna be fucking dude. What, like, is it like a cloud, just like a big cloud?
Up into the sky, creating a type of umbrella cloud expanding evenly in all directions and darkening the skies over most of the North American.
Yo, did you guys saw the news of like a volcano exploding in Tonga a few days ago? Yeah, all right. This is what I'm talking about, okay? So basically, you got a fucking just massive ass volcano in the middle of the ocean, okay? There were people that saying you could actually hear it in New Zealand. You got fucking tsunami waves recorded thousands of miles along the United States, Peru, New Zealand, and Japan. All right, there were people that saying you could actually hear this in New Zealand, okay? And it was a fucking volcano that was, I don't know how how strong that volcano was, but it wasn't that bad compared. Well, obviously, it wasn't nothing close compared to the one in Yellowstone, and it was fucking bad. Imagine, all right, imagine for a second in Mexico how loud this fucking thing would be. I mean, how loud it would be if you were living in fucking Texas or California or fucking Utah. I mean,
continent.
It's just really
this
hard
cloud
to
would
comprehend.
rain down toxic volcanic ash across the entire mainland United States. Wyoming, Idaho, Colorado, Montana, and Utah will, however, experience the most significant devastation and will probably be almost completely buried with up to a
they be fucking gone, literally gone.
meter thick of hot volcanic
like
ash. Denver, Salt Lake City, and Boise will be severely damaged or just outright destroyed. Meanwhile, across the Midwest, Nevada, and southern Alberta, there would still be inches of ash coating everything in sight. Even the Atlantic and Pacific coasts would likely see
oh no, fuck.
a small dusting.
A small dusting. So we got Canada, okay? Y'all gonna drag fucking Canada with you. You got Vancouver, Montreal, Ottawa. Sorry, no, it's Toronto. Miami. Miami seems to be doing fine on this scenario. Good for them, bro. Northern Mexico, Tijuana, it's gonna get fucked. Texas seems to be doing kind of okay. Well, not really, but
although much of it would be highly dependent on the time of year and weather patterns involved.
Yeah, of course.
Basically, if you're looking at this map, everything in blue would be completely wiped out. Everything in purple would be highly damaged. Everything in orange would be sort of damaged. And everything in...
And think about the plants, the animals, the fucking forests on all of these areas just gone. I imagine like massive fires going in all the way though, this part of the United States and Canada too.
Yellow would be mildly damaged. The North American continent would take a pretty significant bruise. But the worst part of
all right, yeah, y'all are gonna be dragging us with you.
All of this would obviously be the terrible toll that it would take on human life. With a full meter of ash possibly being poured down upon you and your city, even if you are not close enough to see the volcano, it could still possibly kill not only you, but also plants, animals, and even crush buildings with the sheer weight of dense ash deposits. Even just a few inches of ash can completely ruin farmland.
Yeah, like talk about that, dude. This be fucking cataclysmic. It would kill all the crops in the U.S., all the fucking cattle. If this will send a massive cloud around the world, how's that gonna affect not only animals and plants, the climate for months, if not years to come after this shit happens? So it's fucking bad, dude. I hope, well, the scientists say it's not gonna happen, and I hope that's true. Because if not, like, we're just
clog up roadways and create
There's
serious
no hope.
respiratory issues for large amounts of the population.
Yeah,
Not to mention that it would
also
take out key infrastructure, contaminate water supplies, down power lines, prevent nearly all air travel on the entire continent, and even take out electrical transformers, which would bring America's power grid to a complete and utter halt. What could be even worse is that the ash would likely wipe out the entire Midwest's crop of corn and soybeans, and could even poison the farm.
Oh no, dude, you can't leave the Midwest without its corn, bro. Come on.
For an entire generation. This would make food production within the United States severely crippled, and America would likely have to rely on food imports from other continents in order to survive. But beyond the absolute chaos going on across North America, a volcanic eruption this big would also have a major impact on the global climate and affect everybody who lives on this planet in some way. You see, volcanoes can emit sulfur aerosols that are capable of reflecting sunlight back away from the Earth, which causes the climate to cool down. For example, most recently, when Mount Pinatubo erupted in the Philippines in 1991, it's estimated that it cooled the planet by an entire 1 degree for at least a few years. And that's
hey, you know, at least climate change is gone, boys.
Not to mention the Great Tambora eruption, which occurred in Indonesia in 1815. That eruption, which was rated as a Category 7 on the Explosivity Index,
so it's
is
not
believed
even an
to have
8.
cooled the planet enough to damage crops around the world, potentially even causing several severe famines in certain areas. There was even snowfall during the month of June in the eastern half of the United States that year, as it became known as the year
dude. What the fucking shit? By the way, if you guys didn't know, there was actually like snowfall on Mexico pretty recently. I made this snowman, okay, the one that you're watching on screen right now, and it was pretty fucking dope. So hey, maybe it wouldn't be that bad.
These eruptions, however, were relatively tiny events when compared to what a supervolcanic Yellowstone eruption might look like. Although it's hard to say with any kind of certainty, scientists estimate that with the amount of material that would be ejected into the atmosphere,
let's hear it, baby.
The planet might cool by as much as 10 full degrees.
What? 10 degrees? That's insane. You know, you hear the talk about climate change and you're like 2 degrees hotter could be like affect our planet, change our planet for the worse. Imagine 10, all right, so 2 of these, 10 degrees cooler. That's just, it blows your fucking mind.
Degrees for an entire decade following a cataclysmic eruption at Yellowstone. Obviously, a change in the climate that huge would cause a global catastrophe. As
we're dead.
Around the world
we're fucking dead.
Affected,
we're gone.
Likely endangering the lives of hundreds of millions of people and doing untold amounts of damage. FEMA, the U.S. Federal Emergency Management Agency, even published a rough estimate on what it thought the total damage cost to the United States would be in the event that Yellowstone ever actually blew. In that report, they estimated that it would cause roughly $3 trillion in damages, or almost 14% of the entire United States GDP.
Bro, forget about the damage in that's pretty bad. Okay, that's unheard of. There's been like even the worst, and we have videos of this on the channel for the hurricane seasons that they cost like 100, the worst ones between like 60 and $100 billion. Okay, nothing even close to this fucking thing. But like the cost on human lives, I'm interested if he's gonna touch on that.
GDP. So yeah, Yellowstone blowing up like this would be really, really bad for everybody. But it's more than likely not gonna actually happen during any of our lifetimes unless one of you becomes immortal. Because if you look at the frequency of the last 3 big eruptions, the odds of one happening in any given year are roughly 0.0001%. Which is actually lower than the odds of civilization getting wiped out by an asteroid. So this isn't really a problem that you have to worry too much about right now. But maybe there's another problem or challenge that you are facing right now for a big personal goal or a passion project that you've been really excited to start.
Sponsor time.
You're not.
Yo, talking about sponsor time, go check out my links on the description, but forget about that shit, okay? I'm not, I don't know how to even do that, but whew, this is fucking insane. I hope it never happen. It's gonna happen eventually, but not in our lifetimes, or our children, or the children of our children, or they or their children. So hey, at least we should be. I think we should have, of course, a bunch of other fucking problems that we need to solve in order that we even get to this time frame. Right? He was talking about like 25,000 years before it explodes, according to the scientists. So yeah, it's not gonna happen, dude.